right, so this is sequence 3, number 11. And they tell you that A1 is 3/5, A3 is 15, and A to the n is 375. And they want you to determine what R is and what N is. All right. Well, if I used all of this, if I don't know R and I don't know N, then I have two variables. So I need to kind of look at just a piece of this sequence first. So let's just concentrate on this piece right here. Because if I concentrate on A1 and A3, then I know that N would be 3, because I know I would have three things. I know that there's an A2 in there. Even if I don't know what A2 is, I know there's one in there. So I know that my N would be 3. If I know what that N is 3, I know what A1 is and AN is, so I could find out what R is. So let's go ahead and plug those in. So 15, which is my A3, 3/5 times R, and to the n minus 1 would be 3 minus 1, which would be 2. So let's go ahead and multiply this out. So I would have 15 times 5, which would be 75, equals 3R squared. I'm going to divide by 3, so I get 25 equals R squared. So this is a quadratic. So remember, when I square root both sides, I can't forget the plus or minus. So now this means R is either plus 5 or minus 5, because these are both positive, and so if there was a negative one in between, I wouldn't know if I was multiplying by a negative 5 or a positive 5. So I could have two possible R's, plus or minus 5. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and find out what N is if I was going to go all the way to 375. So now we know R is plus or minus 5. All right, so I have AN is, well, let's write down our formula. AN is A1 times R to the n minus 1. That's our formula for our geometric series. So I have AN is 375 equals A1, which is 3 over 5. Now we know R is plus or minus 5, and I don't know N minus 1. All right, so let's go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 5 and divide by 3. So I'm going to get 625 equals plus or minus 5 to the n minus 1. And once again, my variable is an exponent, so I have to use logs. Well, I can't have a base of negative 5, so I'm just going to say the log base 5 of 625 equals n minus 1. And the log 5 of 625 would be 4 equals n minus 1. So I know n has to be 5. So if you have any questions, let me know.